So let's talk about good versus bad debt. So many people think that going into debt is a bad thing, but this is actually a tool that you can leverage to make a lot more money. So you most likely have heard of large companies like Apple that have a very large portion of their cash in reserves. I think they have over $1 billion in cash right now, but they actually continue to borrow money to further grow their business. Whenever you hear of real estate investors buying properties, most of them don't actually just buy them out in cash, right? They're using the leverage of debt to actually buy more properties. So debt can really be a very powerful tool if you use it in the correct way to either grow your business, improve your skills, make different investments, and you can basically do more through this leverage. I would really not recommend that you use debt to just buy things that you don't need, right? So the reason that we're getting business funding is not to go out and buy cars, unless maybe you're doing Turo, but it's not here to buy really expensive cars that we don't need. We're not buying watches. We're not buying purses, right? This is not the point of actually going into debt to basically bury ourselves. The tool that we can use here with the funding is going to allow us to grow our skills, grow our business, and thus make more money. So I'm going to give you a couple of different examples here of what could be possible whenever you start to get some funding. So one of the most common examples that most people can understand is the fact that you can use funding to purchase real estate. So let me get this out of the way. You can purchase funding, or you can use funding to purchase real estate. So funding is really great for real estate because you basically have the arbitrage opportunity of borrowing at a certain rate and then creating a cash flow and a return above that rate. So let's say, for example, that you have 100K in cash right now, okay? Or now you have 100K and you can purchase a property, and you might have heard about the 1% rule, right? So 1%, if you're purchasing a property for 100K, you're most likely cash flowing about 100. That's probably the rent. So 100K, one property, okay? So we have, see if I can draw a house. Okay, with the little chimney here, the cloud. So 100K for one property. This is going to create that 1K per month income, okay? But let's say that instead of doing this, now we're going to actually put this and use it as a down payment to purchase more property. So now the 100K can be used as down payments. Usually it's about 20%. We'll say it's like 15 to 25. We'll just say 20. Okay. And so this allows us to buy 500K worth of property. Okay. So now we're buying 5 of these beautiful homes right here. Okay. That just looks great, right? Got little chimneys and all that. So we have 5 properties now. So now we do have the debt expense, but the debt expense on these, you're most likely paying maybe about $300, okay, for this piece of property. So you're paying $300 to cash flow $1,000, right? And we're doing this 5 times. So the difference here is going to be 700 profit, okay? 700 profits. Now 700 times 5, we're now making 3.5K per month, right? Just by using debt, just by using this leverage here to actually create more. And not only are you cash flowing more, but you're also going to be accumulating more equity, right? The renters are paying down your mortgage every single month. So you have that potential. You have also the appreciation that happens with real estate overall. So really great opportunity to basically just do more, okay? And so that's how you could use this to create more wealth in real estate. But now let's also talk about how you can use it in your business, okay? So let's say, for example, that you're running your coaching business and you're running ads and you have a good ROAS, okay? You have a good ROAS. Let's say you're doing about 4x ROAS. So ROAS is ROAS, which means return on ad spend, okay? So that means that basically $1 will turn into $4, okay? If I spend $1 on Facebook, I should be able to sign potentially, you know, my drawing is just on point, right? I can sign one person for the 4K package that I might be selling, okay? So that's basically the gist right here. If I spend 1,000, I might be making 4,000 every single time I put it into my company. So that's great, right? It's a great number. Being at 4x ROAS, right now, if you have a system that creates a 4x ROAS, you have an investment that produces a 4 times return every single time you put $1 in. Wouldn't you just want to scale that, right? Wouldn't you want to just put more fuel into the fire? So that's what we're going to be doing here, basically. So right here, we would be scaling up the ads. So if you have the 1K to spend to make 4K at this level, however, you're probably, having to spend money on software. Okay, you probably have to spend money on obviously the ads. You might be spending money on a team. Okay, at this level, you're probably not running a huge team, but software might be 500. Ads are that 1K. Your team, you might be spending, if you have like content or if you're doing like a setter, for example, you're probably spending 500 to 1,000. So right here, you're making 4, but after all your expenses, really you only have about a 2K profit. Okay, so, and you also have to live, right? It's hard to scale a business and also live life on a 2K profit every single month. But you already figured out the hard part. You already figured out how to build up your business to create a 4x ROAS. So now we just simply have to put, again, more resources into your system. So let's say now, for example, that you understand the value of potentially creating this leverage, of getting some funding, and now you simply want to turn up the spigot, okay? So we get some funding. You get funding at 0% interest for 12 months. So you can use this funding for 12 months to test out different ad campaigns, test out different content that you're putting into your marketing. You can test out different platforms that you're running the ads on. So let's say that you qualify for 50K of funding at 0%. You have 12 months to basically figure this out. And at the moment, you should already most likely be producing that 4x ROAS. Okay? If you don't have a great system to put the funding into just yet, you can always use the funding to basically test and iterate and go a lot faster into your research phase. But if you already have a great system to produce a ROAS, this is like the absolute game changer right here, basically. So let's say right now that you have the 4x ROAS, all we need to do basically is just turn it up, okay? So now instead of spending the $1,000 to profit $2,000 every single month, right? You're having to pay for your groceries, so you're basically breaking even. So that's why you're stuck at that 1K spend every single month, because you're basically, after spending your bills, you're not able to put more into your business. But now you get 50K of funding, okay? Now you feel confident potentially growing this and turning up your ads to 5,000 without going crazy, right? 5,000, you have 10 months of reserves to basically figure this out and keep growing your business. And you already have a good marketing system. And if you don't have the marketing system yet, I'd maybe start with like 1,000 or 2 a month. You can start testing different things out, right? And then you have that entire 12 months to create that system that works, and then you crank it up once you do. But now, let's say that we have the 4x ROAS, we're starting to increase our ad spend to 5x, okay? So now, instead of spending 1K in our ads, now we're going to start to spend 5K. Okay? And again, this is the good debt example that I'm giving you right here. This is how you can use debt to actually make more money. So now we're going from 1K in ads to 5K, right? We don't have to change anything in your business model. You're already doing a 4x ROAS. So right here, we're going to now be doing that 5K. In the 5K, the 4x ROAS would produce 20K in revenue, okay? That's a life-changing money right there. So 20K in revenue, and let's say that, now you're taking off 5. Maybe your team has grown a little bit, so instead of spending $500, you're spending like 1.5. And for your softwares, maybe you got like slightly better software. You're spending like, here, I'll just round it up to 1K. Okay, so you're doing 20, 15, 25. So you have 12.5K profit every single month. And let's say it took you like 2 months to basically figure this out. You can pay back all the debt in the very first month of you hitting that 20K revenue. And now, not only are you able to hit that next level with the funding, but now you're already making the 20K revenue. So if you want to keep using funding, you absolutely can. I think it's smart to use credit so you can earn points and rewards and all that. But you can also continue to basically grow your business now with the new cash flow that you created. Okay, so before you're at 1K, you're stuck there, right? Because you had to pay for your team, your expenses, your life. But now you're profiting 12.5K, and now you can basically afford the 5K a month new range that you're at. So that's the potential here on how to actually use funding to put that into your business to make more money. So that's a very good leverage of debt right there. But those are two different examples on how you can use funding to basically create really smart investments, how to use funding to grow your business a lot faster. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use funding to basically create a whole new level of wealth and get there a lot faster than you could have otherwise. So that's why I think that debt overall can be a good thing. There is such a thing as good debts. And this is very different to something that would be bad debt when it comes to basically using it on something that would not allow you to grow as a person, to improve your skills, to potentially make more money, or directly making more money. That's what I would use the debt for, to actually improve ourselves and create an opportunity of wealth. All right, so hopefully this video helps you out. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon.